Hi there, it's Nicole from Mama Elephant, and today I have a card featuring the new Heartfelt Wishes Stamp Set and coordinating dies. I've used the stamps and dies to create a resist background, as well as using one of the greetings there and the coordinating die for the actual greeting itself. To start, I have a piece of watercolor paper here. This is the Bristol Smooth paper, and I am going to stamp the thanks and then one of the smaller coordinating greetings from the Heartfelt Wishes Stamp Set on this paper, kind of randomly creating a pattern. As I go, I am going to apply this white embossing powder so that I can see exactly where I've been so I don't accidentally overlap anything. So before I get too far down the page, I am going to grab that smaller coordinating greeting or greeting phrase and stamp that with Versamark ink right underneath the scripty word. Again, some of the greetings are going to be stamped off the edge. I really want this to look more like a background and less like a greeting stamped on the card itself. I'm going to work my way all the way down this panel. This panel is trimmed just slightly smaller than a standard size card, so it's about 5¼ inches by 4 inches. That's going to give me a nice little border all the way around when I attach this panel to my actual card base. This greeting says, "Thanks for holding my hands." There are lots of different greetings in this stamp set, plus the thanks is in different languages, so you could combine these in many numbers of ways. Go ahead and apply that embossing powder to the last couple of areas. I think I wanted to add just a little something at the top. Go ahead and add that embossing powder to that, and then I will heat set that with my heat tool. Oh, I found one more small hole, I guess. By applying the embossing powder as you go, it does also help kind of show you what it's going to look like. There you can kind of see it shiny, that white on white. I'm going to start applying some Tim Holtz Distress inks with the mini ink blending tool. This is the Cracked Pistachio ink. I'm also going to use the Twisted Citron ink. This is one of my very favorite color combinations, these two colors together. In addition to these two colors, I am also going to use a little of the Picked Raspberry. That's going to add a nice little pop of color. I'll fill in those two little white areas. I can always go back in with my other ink blending tools and blend out until I get a nice smooth transition from one color to the next. You can see it looks a little blotchy when you first apply it, but by smoothing it out with those other ink blending tools, I didn't apply additional ink to them. I'm just using them with the ink that's already there. It gives a nice smooth transition. Now I'm going to take a mini mister filled with water and spritz that background to give it a nice watercolored effect. This is going to make the ink move and react and really blend together and give me a very nice watercolored look. I'm going to set that aside to air dry and then ink up the word thanks that I used for the background with some black ink now and stamp that on a white piece of paper and then go ahead and die cut that with the coordinating Heartfelt Wishes die. These are some florals from the Freestyle Florals stamp set that I'm stamping with Versamark ink and then embossing with white embossing powder. I wanted everything to coordinate really well, and I wanted the thanks that I stamped in black to really show up. So I stamped these in white, embossed them, and then that embossing is going to create little wells that is going to hold these watercolor pins or markers inside of that floral shape. So I am using the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers to get that watercolored effect for my floral and leaves. The colors I'm using are listed in the upper left corner of the screen. I'm going to make a nice bright pink flower to kind of play off of that pink that's in the background. I'm using 3 shades. I started with my darkest near the center then my medium tone, and then I'll finish with that lightest tone out on the very tips of the flowers. I love how it looks with that white embossing. Go ahead and finish filling this in. This Bristol Smooth paper, I am really loving it with the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. I'm finding I'm getting much better results. I'm going to use a couple of shades of green for the inside of the flower and then for the center of the leaf. And then I'll go in with my lighter green color and blend that out on both the center of the flower and then the leaves. So not a ton of coloring for this card, but just a nice little accent that's going to coordinate nicely with that watercolored background I created. Once I have these all colored in and they're dry, I'll use the coordinating Freestyle Florals dies to die cut those out. And you can kind of see there how that card or how those embellishments and greeting are going to go together. I am attaching some sequins using some Zotz Bling glue dots. These are sparkling clear sequins from Pretty Pink Posh. I'm going to just add a scattering of these. My watercolor background's still just a little wet there in the upper left corner. But I went ahead and attached the sequins. And then once I have all of those attached, I can use glue dots or any nice strong adhesive to secure the floral to my card, kind of in the lower right corner. And then I'm going to take the thanks that I've die cut from the Heartfelt Wishes, and I'm going to attach that right on top using the Zig glue pen. I find that it gives a nice little liquid glue there. I'm going to just add a little bit, pop that right on top of the floral for a nice layered look, place that whole panel on my card, and the card is finished. Thanks for watching this video showcasing the new Heartfelt Wishes stamps and dies from Mama Elephant. The supplies I've used are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.